Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Conversation with Shenila, where we explore the stories, leadership, and ideas shaping the future of project management. I'm Shenila Makhani, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. One of the words we hear more than almost any other thing in modern project management is value. We hear phrases like deliver value, focus on value, or create value. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what does value actually mean? Is it delivering the project on time? Is it staying within budget? Is it satisfying the stakeholders? Or is it something much bigger than all of it? With reference to the release of PMBOK 8, or you can say PMBOK Guide 8 edition, value remains at the heart of project management. Yet, it continues to be one of the most misunderstood concepts. So today we are going to explore the idea together. I'm delighted to welcome Atiq Rehman. Atiq, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you, Shenila, for inviting me again
I'm really
for
looking
the
forward. Great,
conversation on 8th edition.
great.
Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to this conversation because I believe every project manager has heard the word value, but not everyone interprets it in the same way. So let's begin at the beginning. I think when you hear the phrase value delivery, what does it mean to you personally?
Uh, let's say, it's for me, it's an evolution process as well. Um, in the 6th edition, um, gains means value. In 7th edition, we learned more, and it was value focused, value delivery focused, performance based. So there are a lot of different jargons were used in 7th edition. Okay, that's what we understood, and we practiced. Now the edition has, a great shift. I would say a complete shift, which is, uh, the old way of thinking, which was output based as a project manager. Now this 8th edition is asking us to think in a different way, different perspective, look at it in a different perspective. So in that different perspective is outcome based. So when we say project that we used to deliver, we used to focus on the scope, we used to focus on the time, we used to focus on the budgets. And we used to think that, okay, the project is successful because we delivered the project, the whole scope has been delivered within the timeline, within the budget that we have delivered. And that was the understanding, that was the definition. So if you recall the definition of the project, so it used to be outcome driven value creation. It was based on outcome, not outcome, output driven task management. Sorry, I mixed up. So now the shift is outcome driven value creation. Um, we used to say the temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, result, or service. Now, the 8th edition has given us a new definition, and that definition is a temporary initiative in a unique context, undertaken to create value. So now you can understand that they have touched the definition. They're asking you that as a project manager, that don't consider a success when only when you deliver the scope, but your success comes when you deliver the benefits, the outcomes. the reason for being there, the project's reason for being there. Suppose you are in a hospital project, and the one major objective, or I would say that the strategic objective of the hospital is to serve the community, right? Suppose the community is like 100,000 population is there, right? So you delivered the hardcore, I mean, infrastructure, let's say OPD, and the wards, the operation theater, and all these things. But the story is not ending there, that you delivered the scope. The story is actually that, does this project is ready to serve the community, and how much benefit realization is happening, how much you are serving to the community, what level of the service you are providing to them, because that was the main objective, the strategic objective for investing in such project. So this is what we have to understand the framework. The project success is no longer just solely by the triple constraints, scope, time, and budget. Uh, so what we have to see that whether the initiative delivered the measurable, meaningful results that matter to the organization and to its stakeholders. So it's a big shift. Being a project manager, we have to think in a completely different perspective. If you are designing an application, software application, and the strategic objective of that application is to, let's say, I would say, let's say an application that is developed to serve the community, to make life easy for those who are what you call logging in, or the community for which the application has been developed. So we need to see that the really this application is serving the purpose or not. Does the community members are logging in and getting the benefits that was planned in a very early stage or not? So we have to see from this perspective. So outcomes are the major value delivery in PMBOK, eighth edition now. Is it clear, or
Yeah.
we?
I like that perspective, I think, because one thing I have noticed that, many professionals still associate project success with delivering scope, schedule, and budget. And PMBOK, it continues to place value at the center of project management. So, listening to you, I reminded that, many projects successfully delivered everything that was promised. Yet people still describe them as an unsuccessful project. So, would you say there is an important difference between delivering outputs and delivering outcomes? And if you could share an example from your experience where, there is a project went
Yeah,
all its traditional
I
objectives, but
I
still
just
failed to
recalled
deliver real value.
I just recalled one example. Probably some might contradict with my example, but this is the example that is coming in my mind. I used to travel Middle East a lot, in the Middle East, and I used to travel to the different airports of Saudi Arabia. And one of the airport which we used to, I mean, I traveled there a lot of time. I visited, that is the Dammam Airport, right? Initially, when the project was designed, it was designed to serve a very heavy population. So if you go to the Dammam airport, you will find a huge airport, huge facilities, huge. I mean, you can feel that, oh, this airport is not for the small population. This airport is there to serve a big population. But realizing the fact that the traffic on that airport is not that much as much it is supposed to be. And I remember some of the people, I mean, from the industry used to call it that the project is unsuccessful. The airport is unsuccessful because it was designed, the infrastructure was designed in a way, let's say, assume that serving 1 million people, I'm just giving a number, and it's not serving 1 million people, it's only serving few hundred thousands. So the outcome is not matching what was planned or strategically planned. So it can be one of the example that is coming in my mind right now. Um, uh, what else we can have? Uh, let's
So,
say you design an application
hmm,
to reduce the processing time of the customers, right? The
okay.
application is designed, and let's say we put the number, let's say to reduce the 40% processing time of the customers. And but the outcome when the application is designed, project as technically the scope is perfectly done, but still it would be considered a failure if it fails to generate the intended organizational value. That is 40% reduction in the processing time. So that would be turned as a failure. So this is what we need to understand from this perspective of the value delivery. So the major thing we need to understand that outputs and outcomes, we need to segregate them first of all when we are what you call planning our project. We need to understand when we say output. So output is mainly focused on the scope, on your time,
Hmm.
and what you can say the budget. When we say outcome, outcome is focused on the value it is creating, the benefits the program or the project would be generating. So this is the major difference what I feel like in the latest edition.
I think that's such an important lesson. It tells us that, project management is not simply about executing a plan. It's about actually continuously asking whether we are still creating the outcome that matters most. So, I think if I would just, flip this question, right? Have you experienced any project where the team adapted during execution and ultimately delivered even greater value than originally planned?
A greater value than originally planned.
Yeah.
You have put a very different question. Just let me uh, uh, I don't recall any project, but I just to continue what we were discussing.
Hmm.
We are focusing on sustainable value,
Yeah.
the sustainability of the value. I mean, the project that you are working on. Um, what you need to look into it, that you have to incorporate this value from the beginning. From what we used to do as project managers, we used to look at the value creation at the end of the closing of the project. Now, what the standard is asking to incorporate this value from the beginning. So you need to incorporate this in the design. So this from the design, you need to incorporate the this sustainability or the value in. So from the perspective of financial returns, yes, you need to look into the value from the revenue growth perspective, from the cost savings perspective, and from the investment yields perspective. So from when you are doing a project, so it's more on. I remember when I was doing my portfolio management professional, I mean preparation. So that was the major difference, when we are working on the portfolios, we are working on the strategic objective of the organization. unlike in PMB, we talk about the aligning the what you call the deliverables and everything, the PM objectives with the strategic objectives. But in real, we were not focused on that. But now the standard is asking always look into the strategic objectives. So strategic objective, financial returns, you have to look into it. You have to look into the social and environmental impacts that the project can create with the sustainability, ESG goals, and all these things. Intangible benefits also, you have to look into the goodwill, the reputation, the regulatory compliance, team capability, maturity. All these things are there, what we have to look into. And all these things I was discussing just to ignore your question, which you asked me. I was not,
Okay, no
I
worries.
was unable to recall any project
No
where
worries,
we
no
delivered
worries.
better than this.
We're perfectly fine. So, Atik, the most important thing, actually, a lot of people right now who have joined the conversation live, right? Many of actually among them are the PMP aspirants, right, who has prepared on the exam content outline for PMP based on and studied PMBOK 7 as their reference book, right? But now they will going to attempt the exam based on the new exam content outline, right? And they definitely PMBOK 8 is going to be their reference book for it as well, right? Um, I would not go for the entire change. We have already covered it in our previous conversation, but with reference to the value delivery and output versus outcome when we think about it, because PM Box 7 also speak about value delivery and bits and pieces too, right? So, what should be their approach in understanding value delivery now, output versus outcome approach when they are referring to new exam content outline for PMP and when they are, referring PM Book Guide 8th edition as their reference book? So, can you enlighten on that side here?
Yes, the first and the most important thing is that they have to understand the shift from output to the outcome. They need to understand the definition that from the temporary endeavor to deliver what you call it, the results in order to create value. Sorry, it was results in services and product. Now it has been shifted from an initiative, temporary initiative, to create value, right? This is outcomes. So this is one thing they need to understand, and they have to focus on it. And this tagline or this project definition change the whole approach of the project manager. You need to look into it from every perspective. So if I say what are the main areas to focus on is continuous value assessment is needed now. So when you are what you call checking or attempting the questions, you need to understand that is there the continuous value assessment or not? Because in the previous version, it would used to be the at the end or the closing of the project normally. Benefit realization is done at the end. Now it is a continuous value assessment. As I just mentioned, from design, incorporate from design till end. So this is what you have to look into it. It's a part of holistic system now. And holistic system is that when we say value delivery system, it comprises of portfolio programs and projects. So the value delivery is a major, these three major components and operations also. So all are together. You need to look into it. So the project manager bridges the execution and strategy, ensuring data, assumptions, and deliverables seamlessly, and of the operational teams who ultimately sustain the value over time. So this is what they have to focus at. Um, as a project manager, the role of the project manager, the means, the because of the shift. So primarily, daily question shift is from did we build what was asked? This used to be the question. So now uh, it is. the shift is from, does this choice maximize the intended organizational benefits or not? So from the project manager's role perspective, this is what we have to do. So you have to act as a strategic partner. This is very, very important from the project manager's role, that who connects, a person who connects the data-driven execution and business vision, rather than functioning purely as a tactical supervisor. And previously, hardcore supervisor, we have delivered the scope or not. This was the focus, and that's it. And we used to know, oh, we have done it, the project is delivered. No, now they want you to be a strategic partner. So, execution of the business vision through you. They want purely as a tech, not only focus on the timeline. So this is what the major changes. Aside from this, PMP exam perspective has also the major change. And I would not take too much time. I know that we planned this session only for 30 minutes. Uh, so when you are post July 9, means from today onwards, the PMP exam, uh, you must shift your mindset from how to follow steps to how to think like a strategic leader. This is a tagline. Please listen again. The shift of your mindset. Instead of how to follow steps, you have to think like a strategic business leader. So now the business environmental weightage has increased. In the seventh edition, it was 8% only, right? Now it has increased to 26% of the overall exam. Just imagine, 26% of the exam, they are asking about the strategic objective of the business environment, about the marketing conditions, about all these things. So this is a major change. Then focus on the six core minds set principles we discussed in the previous session. They have consolidated from 12 to 6. So this is focused on a value-driven, proactive mindset they want. And the last thing that which I just want to say, that you review your current approach through, I would say, a few lenses I'm just identifying. You need to identify through governance first, finance, sustainability, AI, value realization, and responsible leadership. These are the current approach through which uh, you have to look into the project from these new lenses. I would say these are new lenses. So these are the new pillars of the modern project success. Scenario-based questions, you will see no longer case studies as interactive questions types like hotspots and drag and drop. What you will be seeing the mapping, how the project decisions affect downstream operations and benefit realization. Major change, no more rigid sequences like PMBOK 8 edition, 8 blends 14 non perspective processes with 5 focus areas. So the exam expects you to choose a hybrid model that maximize the value rather than just executing pure predictive or agile methodologies. So I hope that I try to sum up whatever I have learned from reading this PM book. Um, as I told you in the previous session, since third edition of the PM book, uh, changes are always coming. So we have to keep on focus. It's evolution process. So
Great. I think
hopefully it is clear.
that is helpful. So I think we are moving towards the closure of today's conversation. But before we close, right, I would like to introduce a segment that I hope becomes a tradition on Conversation with Shenila. And I call it a 1 minute of wisdom. So, Atiq, imagine a project manager watches this conversation 1 year from today, right? So, in just 1 minute, what is the single most important message you would want them to remember about value delivery?
Once value delivery from 1 year from now,
Yeah,
right?
if someone watch our
Uh,
conversation, what one message you
okay.
want them to remember?
Yeah, a challenging leader, a leader who would be challenging, a person who will be challenging the C-suite executives, because he will get involved. He is the bridge, because he's having the basic first-hand knowledge. On the bottom, on the floor, he can see the things, and he is also focused on the strategic objective that was set by the executives. So he might be sitting, the few of them might be sitting in the strategy workshops after a year time, because their potential will come out. That's what I feel. It's something. It creates a relevance with the organization. You will not be working in silos anymore, because in the past we used to work in silos. A project is authorized, is given to you. You just focus on the project. Whatever the outcome is not your issue. Business case was approved by the management, and you have to just focus on it. You cannot say anything about even the technology that has been going to be used. Now, if the technology that was planned initially in the project, and in the midway, and this is what the scenario I'm creating. In the midway, the project manager realizes that this technology is obsolete, and in the future it's not going to create value because of the AI, or because of the new induction of new ways of working, new technologies, new applications. So this might be the point where the project manager would create a case and discuss with the management, the top executive, that we are working, we have spent millions on this, but spending more on it would not adding value. It would be a waste of investment. So this thing might be the core, uh, might be too much value adding. I feel like that.
Great. Thank you, Atik. This has been an insightful conversation, and I genuinely believe that our audience will walk away with a different perspective on what value delivery really means. So today's discussion reminded us that value is not simply about finishing a project. It's about enduring and ensuring that our work creates meaningful outcomes for the people and organization we serve. So, to everyone who joined us today, thank you for being part of this conversation. If you found today's conversation valuable, I would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts in the comments. That what does value delivery means to you? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more conversations with the practitioners, thought leaders, and experts from around the world as we continue exploring the ideas shaping the future of project management. Until next time, I'm Shenila Makhani, and this has been another episode of Conversation with Shenila. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next conversation.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sharla. Thank you.